Have you ever cheated in a game? Any game at all? I think it's safe to say that most of us have used cheats in at least one game in our entire lives. Game cheats are, well, a part of gaming culture, and the Konami code is famous for it in its own right. Who of us played the original Doom hasn't typed in IDDQD to activate God mode? Game genies and game sharks were cherished parts of our gaming history. When it comes to single-player games, practically everyone has been a cheater at some point. In the days before you could change difficulty levels mid-game and easily acquire walkthroughs, game cheats were also a great way of getting past seemingly impossible sections of a game. In both cases, using cheats is about having fun. Either you'd exhaust the legitimate fun you could have, or the game just stopped being fun for some reason and you just wanted to generate some more. These days, single-player cheats have largely been replaced with custom mods, which are even better. Long before your first pure playthrough is finished, some genius will already release a mod that does exactly what you need to do and get way many more miles from your favorite game. Virtually no one has a problem with this, since cheat codes and modding in a single player game doesn't hurt anybody. Your increase in personal enjoyment doesn't come at the expense of someone else's. At worst, you're simply cheating yourself, but since the point of the game is to have fun, it shouldn't matter as long as that's your experience. However, cheating in a multiplayer game, on the other hand, is a different monster altogether. That catcode demon you vaporized using your cheating ways doesn't care one way or another, but when you use an aimbot in Rainbow Six or an Overwatch, the avatar you just wasted was under the control of another person. Your fun was gained at the direct loss of someone else's. Human beings, and believe it or not, animals, such as our close primate cousins, have an intuitive understanding of fairness. A fair competition is considered fun, but if it turns out that you never had a chance and the cards were stacked against you, the sense of fun goes right out of the window. When someone cheats in a multiplayer game, it ruins the experience for all the non-cheating players. Those people stop having fun and leave the game, which obviously the developers want to avoid because it loses them money. Generally, the ethics of cheating in multiplayer as opposed to single-player games is pretty clear-cut. The former is unethical since it does harm to others, and the latter is not, because the only person involved consents to it. Even though most people would agree that cheating in multiplayer is wrong, that doesn't stop them from being pretty common. As an overall percentage of players, cheaters are in the minority, but in absolute terms, there's enough of them around that most players will encounter them from time to time. So that leaves us with one really tough question. Why? Why do people cheat? What possible reason could they have to do it? To get some answers about this subject, we don't have to look much farther than the amazing work done by Dan Ariely. Dan has done a lot of research into decision-making, rationality, dishonesty, and cheating behavior. He actually has a few fantastic books out there that are well worth reading. I actually read one of these books as I was researching this exact topic. See, Dan's experiments have shown us a lot of interesting things about the rules and the causes of cheating behavior. From his work, we know that small forms of cheating are very common and large forms of cheating are pretty rare. The way he puts it is, everyone cheats some of the time, but very few people cheat all the time. The issue is that in absolute terms, the damage done cumulatively by all the small cheaters adds up a lot more than the small number of big cheaters. People all have this small bit of cheating leadway that they do, and they don't really feel bad about themselves when they do it. Sometimes, however, this leads down a very slippery slope. For example, someone tries a small form of cheating and they get away with it, and slowly but surely their dishonesty racks up to this point where it becomes a real problem with serious consequences. Although the total length of the journey to be a big cheater may be long, the hops in between are very small. That makes it very easy to rationalize each one within what Ariely calls the fudge factor. Once you've reached a certain level of dishonesty, your baseline also shifts. Once you're comfortable with where you are, you can just fudge along again. That lines up very nicely with some of the interviews and comments that I've seen people who buy hacks for online multiplayer games. It starts off with them just trying out a cheat for fun or because they are bored. Sometimes they're frustrated simply because they aren't very good. But why they first try cheating isn't all that's important, but what matters is when they do try it and like it, especially since there aren't usually any immediate negative consequences to their actions. Getting banned for cheating, if you get caught at all, usually runs up the slope of escalation. You might get a warning, a temporary ban, and eventually a permanent ban that can be defeated by just simply buying another copy of the game. How far people are willing to go also depends on the perceived risk of cheating and how badly they want that feeling that cheating can give them. For example, if both stakes and the risk is low, you should see in theory more cheating. However, if both of them are high, it would depend on how high the perceived reward was relative to the risk. For the potential cheater, the juice might just be worth the squeeze. Game developers as of late are getting wise to some of the psychology behind cheaters as of late. They seem to realize that there has to be severe consequences and that has to happen fast. Blizzard has actually been doing a very effective job with Overwatch. A permanent ban in Overwatch is really, really permanent. Buying a new copy of the game won't help, and once you're out, you're out. That high risk associated with cheating in Overwatch promises to seriously reduce the level of cheating, since the risk and reward ratio is tipped drastically the other way. Hell, I've even seen videos of Overwatch players getting banned mid-game while cheating with no warning whatsoever. Blizzard's not playing around, and Overwatch is probably the best strategy to follow against a group of people whose dishonesty is also bolstered by being anonymous and unable to see the people they are cheating. On the other hand, for the past couple of months, games like Rainbow Six Siege were biding for their time. They were collecting data on cheaters and banning them in waves. Since at that time there had been no immediate feedback on bad behavior, this was at the time much less likely to actually dissuade anyone from cheating in the long run. However, with Rainbow's new patch bringing in Battle Eye to the new anti-cheat system for Rainbow, we have seen a huge wave of people being banned from the game. And the cherry on the top is Ubisoft is not afraid to even post these people's names into a global chat room that everybody can see as a way of publicly humiliating them for cheating. And while sometimes that notification may be annoying while trying to play the game, it's a grim reminder to the players of the game that cheating will not be tolerated and that it's never worth the high risk for the reward. Hey, thanks again for making it to the end of this video. So, what do you think? Have you ever cheated in any single player or multiplayer games? What were your reasons? Let me know in the comments below what your take on cheating in games is. And as always, if you've enjoyed this video, why not leave a like and maybe even share the video on other social media?
Who do I call tonight? Who'd I call tonight? You I call for, you might call tonight. You like talking like you might fall tonight. You like looking through this UI, nigga finna turn into a user. A nigga just a burden to the future. I'm certain your abusers concerning something new, sir. It's not you, so I'm hoping you don't choose her. Cause I need you to lose sleep. I need you to move. I need you to use. I need you confused. I need coop to swoon. I need coops and booze. I need you to prove me right.